3 squared means 3 times 3. Well, what's 3 times 3? It's not 6, it's 9. And that's the biggest problem we're going to have. So what's 5 squared? Josh, do you remember what 5 squared is? Means, which is 25. Common mistake you guys make is making it 10. We all do it. It's normal. What's 2 to the third? So if you don't have this done, hey Ryan, you have your pink packet. What's 2 to the third? What does that mean? You know what it means? It's easy. It means 2 times 2 times 2. Jeff, do you know what that is? What is that? 8. Okay, like I said, we did this. Here's another one that everybody makes mistakes on. What's 1 to the fourth? It means 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. And no matter how many times you multiply out 1, what am I always going to get? 1. Okay. What's 2 squared? You guys take your headsets off. You guys, Ryan, yeah, I don't care. Take it off. It's actually rude to me. It's like me going to see a speaker and I have my headset on. No, no, no. It's not okay. It's not polite. Okay, 2 squared. You know what? I can get that right no matter what I do. If I do 2 plus 2 or 2 times 2, I'm going to get that one right. How about 4 squared? Adam, do you know what 4 squared is? 4 times 4 is 16. That's a circle. How about 3 to the third? Do you remember what that one is? Keaton, do you know what that one is? I mean, 3 times 3. It's going to be a bigger number. What's 3 times 3? So it's 9 times 3, which is 27. Okay. The next one we talked about, but I hadn't taught negative numbers, so I want to reteach this because this is really, really important. You're going to run into this in upper level math classes. You have to take 3 years of math. So you're going to have to take this. It means a negative 2 times a negative 2. Do you guys remember what 2 negatives make? It makes a positive. So the 2 negatives make a positive, and 2 times 2 is 4. So we're going to get these right. Oh, I got to clean this off. And there's a couple ways to think of this, the order of operations, and then we're going to get into the actual order of operations, but we have to worry about these. And these are common mistakes that everybody makes throughout all their years in mathematics, because they're not thinking about what it means. We just did this one, so this one's 4. What does this one mean? Negative 2 squared. Now, do you remember order of operations? Remember what it was? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So you do parentheses, then you do exponents, and there's a misunderstanding here. We're going to do multiplication or division, whichever one comes first from left to right. Same thing with addition and subtraction. So we got to be careful about this. This does not look the same as this, does it? Okay, Jake, do they look the same? Parentheses negative 2 squared and a negative 2 squared without parentheses. They don't look the same, do they? Guess what? They're not the same. You can think of this as order of operations with a 0 here, which means take nothing and subtract 2 squared. Just one way to look at it. So if I do that, it's 0, subtract, and what is 2 times 2? If I'm in the way, let me know too. What's 2 squared? 4. So what's the answer here? Positive 4 or negative 4? What's 0 take away 4? You're talking about your checkbook, you know what I'm talking about. What's 0 take away 4? Negative 4. Okay? Another way to look at it is to look at it this way. It's a negative 1 times 2 squared. This 2 only works on the number it's with. If there's a parentheses, it works on everything in the parentheses. But there's no parentheses. So then this means this would be negative 1 times 4, which is still a negative 4. What I like about math is no matter how you do it, there are many approaches to things, but no matter what you do, you are always going to get the same answer. Okay, Dominic, what's the next one? I know you got it written down, but ignore that. Well, maybe you don't. You should know. What does this mean? This means -3 times -3, which gives you a what? +9. Now look at 3 and look at 4. They look similar, but they're not exactly the same. So what's this going to be? -9. And I'm going to tell you, I see this wrong all the way through calculus. So it doesn't matter what level of math you're at. Okay, Adam? I'm sleeping. What's this going to give you? -5 squared. Do you remember, Riley? It means -5. Notice my use of parentheses. If you don't want to put the parentheses in because you're lazy, it's wrong. That's the problem. What's a negative times a negative? Positive. So 5 times 5 is 25. So it's +25. What about this one? Lindsay, do you know what that one is? No, it's a -5 times a +5 because it's not with my parentheses. This, with the parentheses, means I'm going to have a -5 times itself. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I don't have that. So now, what's the negative times the positive? Negative. So it's a negative what? 25. See, this is the thing about algebra that's nice. The arithmetic should be simple. Well, in my day and age, it was simple. Okay, how about a -2 cubed? Josh, what does that mean? It means -2 times -2 times -2. Okay, do you guys know what happens when you have 3 negatives? You know? Well, what do 2 negatives give you? Gives you a positive. What's a positive times a negative? So I still have a negative over here. A negative. So it's negative, and then I have to do 2 times 2 times 2, which is not 6. It's 8. -8. What about this one? What does this mean? I'm going to get the same answer because this is a 3. It's a -1 times 2 times 2 times 2. So because there's only one negative here and there were 3 negatives there, I still get a negative sign. And 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Okay, that's where we kind of left off. So how do we put it all together? Remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This multiplication division is whichever comes first, from left to right. And addition subtraction is whatever comes first, from left to right. So some of you don't want to do the division first. You just have to do multiplication first. No, it's either one of them, whatever's further to the left. Okay, so this isn't so bad, at least I don't think. Keaton, what's the first parentheses going to give you? Because I always do my parentheses first. Think 2, right? Plus, now you guys don't want to write this out. I want you to write it out, okay, Jeff? I want you not to be thinking and putting little things all over the paper. Write it out so somebody could follow what you're doing. So I get 2 plus, and Andrew, what's this? 5 times a -2. What's 5 times 2? -10. And here's where it gets hard, because we've mixed up multiplying with signed numbers with adding with signed numbers. And now I have to remember the rules. But I don't have to remember the rules. Just think of money. If you have $2 and you're going to add a -10, which means you're basically writing a check for 10, what's going to happen? Have enough money? No, you have $2 in your account. You're going to write a check for 10. What's going to happen? It's going to cost you $35 because that's what it costs for an overdraft. So what's that going to give you, Dean? What's 2 plus a -10? It's -8 because you're going to be overdrawn. And then you get the $35. And then when the next check comes and you write another check and you're overdrawn, they hit you with another $35 every single time you go get overdrawn. Doesn't seem quite right. That's exactly right, but sometimes you can't help it. And then you have to go hard. Okay, I got a number of parentheses here. This parentheses right here, the 6 plus a negative 2, is not a parentheses that you have to do anything with it. It's a parentheses just kind of highlighting the negative 2. Could have written it this way, plus a negative 2 plus 3, all of which is minus 1. And so we do what's in the parentheses going from left to right. There are some shortcuts. You could add all the positive numbers as long as it's all adding, and then add the negative. It doesn't really matter. So let's go left to right. Josh, what's 6 plus a negative 2? 4. And it's okay if you can do this in your head. Can you do this in your head? 4 plus 3 is 7. What's 7 take away 1? This is the best part about algebra. This isn't hard. It's 6. Well, it shouldn't be hard, right? That's what I liked about it. I didn't have to know how to multiply two-digit numbers by two-digit numbers. We didn't have calculators. We did it all by hand. We didn't have a choice. Okay, try this one. You should have it out on your sheet. It's in your packet. And what I don't like about this, there's just so many parentheses there, I'm getting confused. So let me clean it up a little bit. And you'll see it like this with all those parentheses. 6 minus 1. And this parentheses right here is just to show off that negative sign. So it's a negative 5 plus 1 plus a negative 4. Okay, the easy one. Jake, what's the first parentheses going to give us? 6 take away 1. Right, that's the easy one. Do I need the parentheses any longer? Not really. I can keep them in there if I want. Because right now, this is not a grouping symbol, but this is a multiplication symbol. Now, can you do this one in your head? I have a negative 5 plus 1. So I've already written the check. I'm $5 overdrawn, and I put $1 in the bank. Doesn't do me any good, because what am I? I'm still negative, right? Negative what? I'm going to actually write this out. That's from this one. If you can do this whole line in your head, I'm fine with that. Just because you're going to add left to right. And what's a negative 4 plus a negative 4? It's a what? A negative. You're 4 to the left. You're going to go 4 more to the left. You're going to be at negative 8. Now we're switching operations. We're not adding. When I do 5 times 8, I can do that because that's not too bad. What's 5 times 8? It's 40, and because the positive times the negative, it's negative 40. That's right. These are not meant to be hard, but sometimes order of operations can be. You really have to follow the rules very closely. Are we ready to go on? Oh, there's a blank slide in there. Okay, what if we have exponents? So we to the next page. You're not on the right page, Dean. They're all in here. Well, maybe they're not in here. Oh, yeah, they are in there, sort of. You know what? You don't have this. My mistake. Is it where? Oh, it's in the second part. That's right. Yeah. So this is number 4. The answer to 3, I will go back with the blank page. Negative 40. Get it right? When you get all those parentheses, it gets confusing. If you take, any one of the calculators, 84, it doesn't matter. Any one of the graphing calculators, if you just type it in, it'll come up with the right answer. It knows order of operations. The TI-82 didn't. So I found the mistake with the TI-82. Kind of interesting, actually. Okay, how about that one? This is number 4 on that pink packet. We're on like page 3. It's right here. Okay, so what is that? What's negative 2 squared? Andrew, what's negative 2 squared? Yeah, be involved, and it's easier to stay awake. It's 4, right? Has everybody got that one okay now? You got that one? Okay, plus, you should be doing this with me, not watching. I see a lot of people watching. What's this one going to give you? 5 take away 10. Evan, do you know what that one is? Okay, I have $5. You want to take 10 from me. What's wrong? I have $5 in my pocket. You want to take 10 from me. Very good. So you can do it. This is a negative 5. Here's where we make some mistakes. What's a 4 plus a negative 5? Jeff, do you know what that is? 4 to the right. And it's 5 back. Yes. It's easy to come up with 1, but it's negative 1. Nick, is that okay? 4 positives, 5 negatives. You want to draw a picture out like this? And you'll see that these guys go, those go, those go, those go, and I'm left with still 1 negative. Doesn't matter to me how you arrive at that answer, if it's on a number line in your head or with positive and negatives. Okay, what about that one? We're going to add left to right. And do parentheses first. So in your head, can you do this? 15 plus 5. What's 15 plus 5? Take away 20. 20 take away 2 is 18. Write that down. Some of you, like I know Andrew's probably thinking, I can just do all that in my head. Write it down. I want to see what's going on in your head. I don't get to see what's going on in your head. Andrew, so I want you to tell me what that is in the parentheses. There's not a lot of work to show, but there's a little. And what's 18 divided by 6, Josh? What's this one going to get? Great. That wasn't too bad because there were no signed numbers there. You can make that plus a negative 2 if you're crazy. Okay, how about that one? Dominic, you want to come up and do this one? I know, that'll wake you up. I only had 4 hours of sleep, so I have no sympathy. What's 10 divided by 2? 5. Keep those parentheses. And we multiply or divide left to right. Now, since it's all multiplication, it doesn't matter what order we do this in, Evan. I can do the 2 times the 4 first. I could do 5 times 4. I don't really care. What is the sign going to be? Because that's the thing you find. It's a positive and 2 negatives. Never too wrong to make a. Yeah, and you can do this in your heads. I'm going to write it out just for you guys to see, but that's a negative 20 times a negative 2, which makes it a positive, what? 40. Could you have done the 4 times the 2 first? Yeah. That's called the associative property. These are called binary operations. Who in here has a bicycle? I'm the only one that has a bicycle? How many wheels? 2. So when you talk about a binary operation, you can only do 2 numbers at a time. You may be thinking so fast to multiply them across, but you're thinking in between 20. You have to, because it's just the way it works. You may not write it out, but you're thinking that way. Oh, is that it? That might be it. Okay. So now I just have a little worksheet, and I think some people have some worksheets to hand in. And we're going to see how well you do with this. This is order of operations. Yeah, a lot of you probably have stuff to hand in. So you have time to work and ask questions. Make sure you get these right. And